Hi, my name is Guy Balbaert. I'm the Vice President of Marketing and Sales for Europe and Asia Pac for JamHub.
What's the inspiration behind JamHub?
Well, actually the inspiration is, the very short version is make more music whenever you feel like it. The longest story, it comes from our president, and he's called Steve Skillings. He actually was in a situation where he saw that the children of one of his friends, they could not rehearse until late because there was always many issues about noise with neighbors and all that stuff. So Steve, being an engineer, started making something that would make it possible to play late whenever you wanted. So he came up with this really intricate system that was based on a mixing console, but a very elaborate one, which allowed everyone to have their own mix. And it was big. It was really big. It was a table big in the beginning. And basically, based on that and the success that he experienced with the bands that he was trying to use it with, he started working more and more on something that became this, the JamHub. But the overall philosophy for everyone in our group is, let's get people playing more music whenever they want, regardless of time, regardless of where you're sitting. That's the point.
From initial idea to the final product that we see today,
Yes.
How long did the research and development group, how long did it take it to develop that?
Because some members in our team were very experienced in this industry, it went fairly smooth. I would say from the idea until we had the first prototype in our hand, that was about a year. The world is getting faster and everyone is having more access to data and overall the world is a place that's accessible. So we used all the tools possible and we went forward because we knew we had this idea, nobody else had it, and we just went for it.
So could you tell us more about the process of developing this product? How many phases have the team gone through and what were the challenges?
Well, the challenges were basically because if you look closely at a JamHub, it's actually a lot of mixing desks. If you look at it like half a pizza, every musician gets a slice of pizza. But every slice is a console. It's like a mixer. It's like, in this case, this is our top model. This is called a tour bus. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mixers. Getting 7 mixers in one little box and making sure that there's no crosstalk and all these type of things, and making sure that it was something that even somebody who never worked with a mixing desk could understand. Those were the big challenges. It had to be easy. Even somebody who never ever had access to recording gear or live mixing consoles, regardless, people had to look at this product and go like, oh, I get my section, so I'm fine.
How has your background facilitated the development process of JamHub?
You should be asking Steve Skillings this question. He's the engineer in our team. We've got another really smart guy called Mike Zartarian in our team, and they're really quick to find alleyways into solving problems. Me personally, I'm more a marketing guy. So from a marketing perspective, I had a lot of chances to really make a beautiful story out of this. And the story is connecting with a lot of people, so I'm very happy about it. It's the most obvious story is that if you walk into a music store today, you look around, you simply look around, you will see that approximately 90% of all products in a music store have a headphone out. They all do. The only thing is, those headphone outs are always aimed at a single player. There was nothing in the market that allowed a multiple amount of players to connect into something that made them play together. JamHub.
Can I use JamHub as a mixing console or matrix? Comparing JamHub with a mixing console, what are the merits? What are the advantages of that?
There's a longer answer to what you're asking me. So, and I'll take it. So basically what you see is that rehearsing with headphones, it has been done for decades. If you go on YouTube, you will see bands playing with headphones all the time, regardless of who it is or what music style it is. I just invite you to go on YouTube and look for band rehearsal. We've got beautiful clips of bands like the Beatles and Elvis and Metallica. All these people are rehearsing with headphones, and the only reason for that is clarity. They are into tone, and they're into groove, and they're into, finding the right balance between their instrument to create a world of their own. And the thing is, these guys have budget. Big budgets, and they have somebody at a big mixing desk that makes the mix for them. It's not easy and it's expensive. We just looked for something, and in this case JamHub, we just looked for something that could bring the same type of benefits, but easy and affordable. That was basically the point where we wanted to go for. And the next point, because we knew that people were going to use this in an environment where they had neighbors. We needed to be silent.
So in a small to medium-sized venue such as cafes, pubs, live houses, could JamHub replace an on-stage monitor system?
It could. It is not made for that, because we basically were looking at, the main reason why most bands split is because they have so much problems with rehearsal. They can't find the right space. It's logistically, it's always difficult. So here we're in a situation where, okay, everyone has their own personal mix, like the professionals, and there's no noise issues. You set up a rehearsal really fast. But we see that people who buy a JamHub actually take it to their gigs as well, because they get so used to having the comfort of having their own mix in their head. The only difference would mainly be that instead of headphones, they would use in-earbuds, because visually it's like the real bands again. It's like the pros. All bands wear in-ears. So in this case, it would happen as well. And the main one of the outputs, and normally the back end, one of the outputs or the headphone output would be a stereo out that would go to the left, right. Yes, it works. Was it made for this? No.
So if you look at the design and housing of stone boxes or any other guitar effects, the typical housing, the shape of these units are generally rectangular. So the wedge-shaped architecture of your JamHub really stands out from the rest. So what's the philosophy behind such design?
Well, the philosophy is basically that our first design was round, and which was fine. It was, then it was, instead of a pizza, it was a pie. Everyone had a piece of the pie. But we noticed when people wanted to change something quick, because it was round, people didn't immediately lock into where am I. So we resolved this by, taking this side and making it straight instead of a circle. And then on top of working with numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we also used color. So we know it's quite unusual, but it definitely helps us to get noticed, and it works. Yeah, we're happy about that.